So this is about building a resilience playbook for you, where you can work out 4 or 5 things or 4 or 5 emotions that are going on for you right now that are common. It might be stress, anxiety, frustration, anger, flatness, depression, unmotivation, whatever it is. What we got to do is work out, okay, if that's coming, what's my block and then what's my response? How do I actually get onto the front foot here to beat this? And instead of sort of suffering for too long and letting anger spill over days or letting depression spill over days, how do I get something that interrupts that pattern, protects me, and then gets me back into the front foot so I'm living a more positive existence? And so this is how it works. I'm going to hold something up before you so you can read. It sort of looks like this. You start off with an emotion. And what we're saying is at the moment, our response is here to be to the negative emotions. And every emotion, so as I said, it might be anger, frustration, it might be some sort of depression or sadness, could be anything like that. That's the emotion, right, that's over here. What we know is that there is some sort of trigger that is causing this emotion. So for me right now, I know as an example that one of the emotions is maybe anger or frustration. And the trigger for that is absolutely when I read too much news on social media. Like I know it inside out now. I've done the analysis on that. I can sense it. When I read too many headlines, I get angry. So what I know is there's an emotion and a trigger. What I want to be able to do here is this arrow is where we go from negative to positive. This is where we interrupt the pattern, stop what I was doing that was negative and get myself back on the front foot. So what I like to do here is give myself a little really catchy mantra or phrase of some sort, which goes, okay, let's turn this around. Let's get back into a more positive mindset. And in that space, what I say there to myself as a reminder is no news is good news. It's an oldie, but in this moment, it has a totally different meaning. I mean, no news for me means I can actually just get on with life. So no news is good news is my mantra. And my action then is one of a few things, maybe to switch off, to go for a walk, put on some music, just to get myself away from the grimness of what's going on right now. So what I do is actually end up creating myself a bit of a playbook. I'm gonna share my screen now so you can see how I've actually done this over multiple things. So this is an example of my own playbook. And if you go to the downloads, you'll be able to see that this is there for you, plus a blank template for you to complete your own. And this is what we want you to do, is create a really practical set of responses to the 3 to 5 things that cause you the most stress right now. So if you look on the left-hand column here, over where it says flat or sad or angry or frustrated, overwhelmed, unfocused, these are the 5 most common or most worrying negative emotions that I would feel over every couple of weeks, right? So every now and then I feel flat or sad or depressed. Sometimes I'm angry or frustrated. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Sometimes I'm just unfocused, unmotivated on a day, or some days I get cabin fever. And what I've done there is I've said, okay, for each of those, I've said, well, what is the trigger? What's getting me into that state, that horrible emotion that can linger around for quite a long time? Well, for flat or sad or depressed, I sort of feel like it's, for me, this is what it is, a lack of hope in the future and just missing genuine human contact makes it feel loved and valued. So what I did was I said, okay, that's my emotion and this is what's causing it. What's my new mantra? So there's 2 little mantras I love in this case. One is that leaders are dealers in hope. And so that sort of gets me back on the front foot, remembering I've got to find a way to get some hope. 2 is isolation is the ally of depression and stalled growth, right? And so what I've got over here then is some actions, some really good positive actions that will get me out of that negative emotion and into a much more resourceful kind of state of mind. So if you think about this here, as I said, the emotion and trigger, that's the negative stuff. That's almost like someone's coming at you with a punch or a kick and you're like, okay, hold on, I've got to block that. And now I want to come back on the front foot and be in a really good position.